Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Forgive me, I'm a little exhausted. Just finished driving 150 miles back home after leaving early this morning. Had not planned on being back here tonight, but we got some bad news on Roscoe, so we needed to get back home. Um, so I was tied up trying to hurry up and get done and get back up the road and things, so I didn't have a chance to really pop in a lot of thoughts and stuff about what we've heard today, which is craziness. You know, I think as much as people want to blame, Romo and blame Dak and blame Des Bryant and the players and things like that, you literally don't need to be pointing your fingers at them. You need to be questioning Stephen Jones. Anytime we lose a game, don't question the players, don't question the coach. Question Stephen Jones. Now, I have not seen the press conference yet. I'm going to look at it after I do this video and things. I'm told that Jerry Jones seemed to be spry and really, just right there, kind of Jerry Jones-esque, not like the old man that he is. And Stephen Jones is still the delusional Stephen Jones that he is. You have to almost question this because Jerry Jones seems to believe that it's a foregone conclusion that we'll be in the playoffs next year. Not looking at what's transpires, that it's an on-off year for the Cowboys. That we've had 3 playoff wins in the 27 years since our last Super Bowl. That typically you win the division and then somebody else's turn in the NFC East. I'm not willing to concede at all that by the time we get to the playoffs this coming year, that we won't be every bit the team that we had going to the playoffs last year. Our playoff team last year lost in the first round to San Francisco. We did not make it past wild card weekend. We did not make it to divisional round. We did not make it to conference championship. To say we'll be every bit as good as last year's team, a team that kind of limped into the playoffs and lost in the first round, you need to be better than that team. You need to be better than that team. And here's where they always say us Cowboy fans are delusional and the Cowboys always sell us hope and everything else. We're getting snow jobbed right now. We're getting snow jobbed. Or Stephen Jones just does not have a clue whatsoever. I don't think we have any muss going into the draft. What you talking about, Stevie? Interesting. Wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. So you mean to tell me, Stephen Jones, that guard, where he lost Connor Williams, is not a must need? You're not saying that where we lost Amari Cooper and we brought in James Washington, that wide receiver is not a need? You're not going to say tight end where we lost Blake Jarwin, is not a need, a must-have? You're not going to say linebacker is not a need, where you brought back Van Der Esch and whoa, Keanu Neal's no longer there? You got Luke Gifford, I got it. You're not going to say that edge, losing Randy Gregory, because you lost a lot of talent there. I didn't even throw in kicker. You got a lot of must-have. The fact that you say we don't have must-haves going into the draft, guys, get ready for us to draft a wide receiver first. Just get ready, because they're going to be going for sizzle as opposed to substance. They don't even see the deficits that they have on the team after the mistakes that they made, after the bullcrap offseason that we've had, that they literally think everything's fine. We'll be a playoff team. That they are literally taking that the Cowboys will be a playoff team. Jerry Jones on Randy Gregory in high regards. Ultimately, Denver wanted him more than we did. The team prefers having Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler. If you have a big question mark about availability, forget ability. That statement right there. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing on that one. That's some more bullshit. The thing that got Randy Gregory in trouble is Mary Jane. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Mary Jane. And guess what? It's no longer part of the equation. It's not like Randy Gregory was the guy who was out there in the club getting tipsy or hanging in the car with friends that are doing drive-bys or having domestic violence or any of those kind of issues. The only thing that ended up having the availability of Randy Gregory was he smoked a little weed and got caught. The reality is, a lot of guys in the NFL smoke weed. They just know, make sure you pass the test in April. You're good for the next year. They're not going to test anymore. That was the way it used to be. But with the new collective bargaining agreement, it's not a suspendable offense. So the fact that you said if you have a big question mark about availability, now you're just trying to go ahead and save your own ass. Because that's a bullshit statement there. The Cowboys, I don't know that this press conference did anything good. I just, this press conference is like a Mike McCarthy press conference where you end up at the end of it saying, this guy's an idiot. When Mike McCarthy came through to the press conference and said, well, the team seemed to be a little bit, kind of nervous and on edge. Isn't that your job to make sure that they're ready and not nervous and on edge? Well, you're going to do play calling. Well, it's the installer's job to do the play calling, and that's Kellen Moore. So, but aren't you the head coach? Aren't you the guy who's, had the bad man, Aaron Rodgers? Weren't you the guy that worked with Alex Smith? Weren't you a guy that won a Super Bowl? Why are you deflected to Kellen Moore, who hasn't won shit? So you watch those press conferences and you realize you are an idiot. And from these damn Gina updates, I'm looking at this, and the Cowboys, this is literally Laurel and Hardy. This is just a joke. The things that they put out here and say are just flipping ridiculous. For Jerry Jones to say that who makes the final call in the draft room, Taco was Steven's call, Parsons was mine. How about this? How about we have Will McClay make the call instead of you two jackasses? I mean, come on. Seriously? Seriously? This is what we're getting now? Oh my God. The more I read about this, the only good thing about this press conference was that we have 100% player participation in voluntary workouts. That's the only, thus far, like I said, I've been on the road. I'm tired. I smell like old wood, okay? And my hair's probably got sawdust and who knows what else in it. I'm dirty and need a shower. But I wanted to come in here because I had to see all of this stuff that literally transpired today. And you realize that we are a joke organization. this press conference did probably more damage than calming people's nerves. Because the more I read this, the more I just like, oh. Wow. Mike McCarthy talks about Michael Gallup's ACL is doing well on his rehab. Once we get to training camp, we'll get a tighter view when he's will be available. Expectations remain he won't be ready to go full go week 1, likely missing the start of the season. I'm telling you, don't expect him to be a full go till middle of the season. Remember when they told us, oh yeah, he's a priority assigned because he'll be ready in training camp and ready for week 1. They told you that lie before he even had the surgery. Oh, it's a clean tear. It's a tear. You got to put a new one in. You got to make a graft, put it in there, sew it in there, attach it, and then start rehabbing the damn thing. How are you going to know, oh, it was a clean tear? It doesn't if it was a clean or not a clean tear. Either way, it's going to need a new one. That was more I told you when they said, oh, he's going to be ready to start the season. I told you he wasn't going to be. And then we have Jerry Jones. There's probably less risk-taking in me compared to the 30-plus years ago. More conservative about off-the-field character, but the process hasn't changed. Believes in the empowering others to believe that they're making personnel decision increases accountability. Not in Stephen Jones. Certainly not in Stephen Jones, because I'd like to know what accountability that guy has actually had for all the screw-ups that he's had. All we get is, hey, trust the process here. We don't really have any holes out here. Dorrance Armstrong, he's right there with Randy Gregory and stuff. Hey, D-Law, how about you take $10 million there and be happy? Oh, and how about this one? DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware literally had Von Miller say, hey, bro, called DeMarcus Ware. Hey, man, can you call Jerry? Von Miller asked D. Ware, hook a brother up. Call Jerry. Help work out a deal.
Don't forget about Bobby.
And guess what? They wouldn't even call his ass back.
Don't forget about Bobby Wagner too, who got in touch with his.
Let me say one more time, the cap number for Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, and Zadarius Smith for this year combined is the same amount of money we are paying Dalton Schultz. $10.9 million of cap. That's it. That's the story. So, I'm pissed. I'm just pissed. The only good thing that we can say is that the Cowboys players, they at least believe in each other, and they're there trying to bust their ass and make a difference. And the Cowboys have been fortunate in actually making good draft picks compared to other teams. Other than that, it's hell. It sucks. Oh well. It is what it is. I think I drove the last 2.5 hours wanting to see what actually transpired here. And wow. What? Wait a minute. So Randy Gregory? Hell hath no fury like a scorned owner? Question mark. Man needs to let it go and find his war daddy already. Wow. Randy Gregory even bitch slapped him. Damn. Jerry Jones. I think we can easily be where we were last year talent-wise. Jerry Jones was talking about other potential draft trades. We always chum. We're always talking about possibility. There's nothing dangerous thinking about crazy things. Stephen Jones believes they have filled enough of their roster holes that they won't be forced to draft any position. I wouldn't say that we have any must left. Jerry Jones on signing edge rusher Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler. With the money that they were going to spend on Randy Gregory, I'd rather have those two than one. Jones added that he thought Gregory's availability was an issue during his time with the Cowboys. Stephen Jones said the first and second rounds of this week's draft are a little thin than usual. Strength of the draft is in third and fifth rounds. Dallas has 9 picks overall, including 4 in the fifth. Yeah, I don't really want those high draft picks. Yeah, I'd rather have the late ones. Oh my God. Yeah, uh, we could be here all night with this stuff. Well, I'm gonna go take a shower, get cleaned up, see what's what and who's who, and I'll have my final word in a bit.